Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby as the Sharks take on the Griquas tomorrow afternoon. This is your preview. Before you go any further, please do like and subscribe to the channel, smash a like, jump in the comments, let me know what's going to happen in this match. Now if you look at the log, as usual, pretty much a nothing game for the Griquas apart from potentially individual players maybe trying to put their hands up, trying to get a contract to one of the unions playing in the Rainbow Cup or to the Cheetahs, for example, who are going somewhere next year. But for the Sharks, it's a very important game because if the Cheetahs beat the Western Province and the Sharks don't get a victory against the Griquas, it suddenly means that they would slip into 5th place. And with the Sharks having lost last weekend against the Cheetahs, they need to start getting back to winning ways if they are going to try and get a home semi-final, or at this stage even just get a semi-final itself. Sitting on 28 points, the Lions playing the Pumas before them, so they will know exactly what they need to do. Whereas the Cheetahs and the West Province are playing at the same time. But if the Sharks were to win, it would mean that the Cheetahs would remain on 26 points. So if the Sharks, or 27 points at the most. So if the Sharks win and the Lions in the Western Province win, obviously, then it does kind of mean the Cheetahs sort of drift off a bit in terms of not being able to qualify, because the Lions will move on to at least 33 points, which the Cheetahs can't catch up. It means the Sharks will move on to at least 32 points, which the Cheetahs can catch up, and then comes down to points difference with the game in hand. And the Western Province obviously can't be caught as it is anywhere, or unless they lose. So yeah, I mean it's so the Sharks versus Griquas game. It's just important for the Sharks to make sure, first of all, it's a nice chance for them to rotate and to try and test out all their options. Because I think if you look at the game against the Cheetahs, I think you'd argue that a bit of squad depth would have shown up, particularly up front, where the front row has been struggling in recent times, and there is very good front rows across the competition. But the Sharks front row do look a bit, not necessarily lightweight, but inexperienced and aren't quite holding their own at the moment. So if we look at the sides for this clash, the Sharks side, so Oxenchair starts as usual, nothing changed there. Big boost on the bench, however, as Dan Jooste is there. Faison Bouta gets a start for the Sharks, and Mike Kumbarai comes back in. He starts for the first time since he struggled against Dylan Smith and against the Lions 2 weeks ago. In the locks, Jaden van der Mesh comes in and he will partner Ruben van Heerden. Aston Fortuyn is on the bench. I thought he was very impressive last weekend. Worked very hard, made a lot of tackles. Henko Venter starts at 6, which means Dylan Richardson gets a chance to rest as well. Timolani Bodi comes in. Sikhumbuzo Noche completes that loose trio. So no Dylan Richardson, which means that Henko Venter will probably have to step up in terms of at the breakdown. But apart from that, it's quite a nicely balanced loose trio and a nice chance for Sean Everett to sort of test out different combinations. Jaden Hendrickson keeps his place, as does Cohen Bosch, Yao Penke, Jeremy Ward, Lekanya, Werner Koch, Apilele Fassi. So Fassi comes in to start. Although Moni Liebach is on the bench, so it looks like whatever kept him out last weekend, he failed a concussion test, means that he is back, so good news for him. On the bench, Dan Jooste, Kwesi Mona and Henry Jacobs, and they will be very important because, as I said, the Sharks have been lacking a little bit of depth up front, and so it'll be a nice chance to sort of see what their players off the bench are like. Aston Fortuyn, Dylan Richardson completes the the forwards on the bench, and then Grant Williams, Moni Liebach and Anthony Volman. So quite a lot of pace coming off the bench and some nice options. And Volman covers wing and fullback. Moni Liebach can cover fly half and fullback as well. So it's a very solid side. Definitely has got the capacity to beat the Griquas and got everything they need. But I think the important thing is to just make sure that they're a bit more clinical, less handling errors, and just more, and taking the opportunities better, because that was the issue last weekend against the Cheetahs. Just too many handling errors, just too many basic errors, which did cost them in the end. In terms of the Griquas side, not too many changes there. Andrew Beerwinkel, John Roy Jenkinson are the two props as usual. Alandre van Rooyen comes in. Ivan Coetzee will partner Cameron Lindsay with RJ Smith on the bench. Gideon van der Merwe, who's been fantastic all competition, is with Stephen Willemse and Johan Momsen, who's a nice good ball carrier. Zach Berger will captain the side. He's been very impressive, and I'm sure he'll be one of the players that will probably be on the move after the Currie Cup. Titus de Beer starts at fly half. Two wings, Enver Brandt and Edwin Keita. Edwin Keita has been very good for the Griquas. Always manages to find a way to impact the game. Often gets on the score sheet. Andrew Swartz, Burton Clarkson are the centre pairing. And then the very exciting fullback of James Verity, who's had in moments, he's kind of been a bit inconsistent, I think. He's had some very good games and also some games where he struggled to get into the game. On the bench, CJ Conradi, Mark Smkoli, Chida Fisser, RJ Smith, Siba Koma, Ashlon Davis, Jonathan Frankie, Daniel Kasenda, Bandisa Ndlovu, and Reagan Orania. So if you look at the Griquas, they've played much better rugby than their log position would suggest. And I think the problem is that they just haven't been able to put together a full 80-minute performance, which is why they haven't got a victory. They've got quite a few bonus points. They've got 5 bonus points for finishing within 7 points. So they're often there and thereabouts, and often sort of push teams reasonable amount, but just can't put in that 80-minute performance where they can get on top of teams, score points, keep the scoreboard ticking, and get the win over. If you look at the game, the last game between the Griquas and the Sharks, it was Kerwin Bosch kicking a final minute penalty to win the game, actually. So the Griquas really sort of slipped up with that one back when it was in Kimberley. And this is now back in the Natal, so Sharks do have the home ground advantage and should be able to get probably all 4, if not 5 points on the log. But let me know what you think is going to happen in the game down below. Smash a like on the video. We will be doing a Cheetahs versus Western Province watch along tomorrow at Hoppers 4, but this game is at the same time, so we will be keeping an eye on it as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Stephen, and I'll chat to you very soon.